I guess you can tell I'm actually standing on the creek. This water's about 12 inches deep right here. So I wanted to come out here and show you this now because it'll probably be too soft tomorrow and it'll crack on us. Woo, it's cracking on me. Hey friends, today I'm testing out a hand-powered hydraulic wood splitter. I think this tool, even though it's slow to use, for some of us can bridge the gap between just using a hand maul wood splitter and then having a very expensive, high-powered, gas-powered hydraulic wood splitter. Here's this wood splitter. I've been using it some. I just split this little pile of wood here. This is from Northern Tool and Equipment, 10-ton hydraulic jack, and the wood splitter that it comes attached to. Bree actually asked for this for Christmas, ironically, and her mom got it for us. I'll go ahead and throw a log on here and show you how this works. It actually splits wood really quite easily. So as you can see, this is really quite easy to use and it works really well. The question I have is this really better than splitting wood with just a maul? And I love splitting wood with a splitting maul. I really like it. And it does require some force when you're actually splitting it. I am using just one hand though. And this is a nice straight piece of wood. Once you split it, you just turn this release handle and these springs pull the ram right back in. The maximum length of a log you can split is 18 inches. And I haven't put anything in there yet that it wouldn't split, that I couldn't split just using one hand at a time. I'm sure that somewhere in this pile I'll run into one. I've got kind of a mess in the woodshed here. I dumped all this wood in here. My neighbor actually gave this to me, and it's a mix of green and dry. What I'm doing is just cleaning it up, splitting everything. I'm going to stack a pile of green along this wall, and then I'll start with dry. This green wood, I hope to not actually burn until next year. I'm just making room for some new wood. The positives of this little hand-powered hydraulic splitter are it's quieter. You could use it in a confined space, so say if it was raining outside, I could be in here in this woodshed. It's a little hard to swing a maul in here. If it was in your basement, it would be even harder, or in a smaller woodshed. I do think overall, this is easier to use. Now don't get me wrong, it takes quite a bit of arm strength to pop through these big logs, but if you're splitting medium to small size stuff, you know, under 12 inches and it's straight grain, it's gonna be easier on you. And really the biggest positive for me, and this is why I was excited about getting this, is I have split a few things with this splitter today that would be very, very difficult to split with a maul. In fact, I've split stuff that I tried to split with a maul and it just takes hit after hit after hit. And this will pop through it with a little bit of muscle. A few downsides to it are it's generally slower, for me at least, than splitting with a hand maul. It also is harder on your back, so you're bending over more. You could set it up a foot or two higher, and you can also sit in a chair. It's lunchtime. Hey everybody, what are we having for lunch?
Say the dinner bell.
You rang the dinner bell.
I mean the lunch bell.
The lunch bell.
Say the lunch bell, then.
Quiche from our very own eggs, yogurt from our very own cow.
Are you done with school, girls?
Yeah, Justice still needs to do a little school, but.
How's that quiche? He's not going to say a word, but he's telling us how much he likes it with his actions.
Hey boy.
How's the quiche?
Yummy.
Good. Well, I am hungry. I'm going to sit down and have a nice plate of quiche. I might even have some yogurt. That looks really good. It's so warm today that we don't even have a fire. Kind of a nice break.
It's just very nice break. Hallelujah.
I'm serving myself yogurt, and it is just, I'm having a hard time not eating it right here. It's just so good. This is yogurt Brianna made from our fresh cow's milk.
I want some.
And without anything on it, it's just so creamy and rich and delicious.
It's the best yogurt I've ever eaten.
It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I just can't tell you how much of a blessing it is to have all this dairy from our cow. So nice.
So I'm making some stock. We'll see how it turns out. As I've been cleaning out my freezers, I'm like finding things that should have been used a long time ago. So I found a whole bag of feet and organs from chickens that we've butchered, and I'm just throwing them in a stock pot and seeing how it's going to turn out.
It's like something out of a horror movie. Piles of feet. That might make a good thumbnail. They say that chicken feet make some of the best stock there is. And we've used them many times, but it's always a little funny to look in there and see all those feet and toes.
Oh.
There you go. I'll put it on. Look, show me that hat. That's so cool. Grace made a beautiful little nature feature out of an acorn, some moss, and a quarter of a walnut hole. That's beautiful, girl. Very beautiful.
This definitely didn't come from our chickens.
What did you find?
A feather. Justice found a totally white one too.
Oh, no way. Let me see. Oh, it's beautiful. No, it didn't come from our chickens, did it? Does that smell bad up there? Can you smell it at all? Kind of gross, isn't it? It's funny how it got stuck there perfectly with the antlers pinned into this branch. Our hoses are still frozen. I'm kind of sick and tired of carrying buckets, so I set up a little siphon out of a hole in the creek up the hill. So I'm just coming out to see if it's still working. It looks like it's working good. I have it set up just so it will barely drip over the edge, and then it runs down in this little ditch here and then back across under the road into the creek over there. I've never found systems like this when you're working with just a really small pool in a creek to last for very long, because the hose ends up getting clogged or whatever. But if it takes me 10 minutes to set up, which I'm not sure if it took 10 minutes, maybe even less, and it saves me carrying buckets of water 3 or 4 times a day for the cow, it's worth it. All right, I got my chainsaw to cut up some of these long pieces we're dealing with, and I'm gonna work on firewood, hopefully till it's knocked out in that shed, probably till it gets dark out here. Well, thank y'all for joining us. It's been another great day on this homestead. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that, and if you're not a subscriber, please join us on this homesteading journey and hit that subscribe button. We'll see y'all next time.